I can't look back, it's too late now. My days are hours and I don't know how, but I believe the great is still yet to come. I won't stop fighting, man, until I'm done.
Okay, well, it's been a heck of a morning here, guys, to be honest with you. We're newbies to this podcasting world. Everybody, we're watching multiple 8-minute videos on how easy this is, and 3 hours later, we're just starting our first one with only one operational microphone. But with that said, welcome to the Breakfast Ball. I guess introductions are in order. My name is Bob Cardia. I am the head golf coach at Rutgers University at Camden for the past 30 years or so, which is amazing. I guess, as my father used to say, self-praise sucks. But if you're not watching anybody, not watching Joe Vagabond, we've qualified, I guess, for 8 NCAA finals. I think I have 7 Coach of the Years, I think. Mm-hmm. And then I'm director of the oldest golf school, as far as we know, in New Jersey, pushing our 45th year of straight operation. To my left, to your right, is our primary assistant and all-around great guy, Richie Stoltz, who is currently the new record holder at Westwood Golf Course. He shot 61, 10 under. 10 under, and he is also first team NEAC conference, and in 2019 he was All-American, NCAA All-American at Rutgers. And you were also part of the Methodist team, although you weren't a starter at that point.
I was not a starter at that point, but I was a part of the team. Yes, they did win the national championship that year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, my dad said self-praise sucks, but at least I want you to know you're not watching two people who have, no idea what they're doing. Although technologically we
have no idea what we're doing.
Talented, yes. Or challenged, I should say.
Special.
All right. Yeah, special. Yeah, they used to say I was special when I was a kid. Now I'm wondering whether or not that was actually, it probably wasn't a compliment. Anyway, let's get started. What is the breakfast ball? Well, typically people call it breakfast ball mulligan.
Mulligan.
Yeah. Everybody knows the term mulligan, but we decided to launch the breakfast ball on the premise of it's a second chance. And obviously this is going to have a golf backbone to it because, we've both been in golf. I've been in golf forever, and Richie's is been doing it for a long time and budding into his career. But the object of the show is a golf backbone, but we're doing an emphasis. The main thread's going to be on motivation, performance psychology, just really, my own philosophy is being the best version of yourself. So I would like to, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Richie's going to speak at some point. I wrote this all down, so I want to get this all in. I'd like to dedicate the first show anyway to my dad, because mm-hmm. my dad was a wonderful man. He, in addition to being a doctor and a golf teaching professional and a college professor, he was a motivational speaker. And the things he taught me that I didn't even realize that I was learning are all coming to bear, as I do this now. So you've heard this story. Richie's heard this story several times.
Probably multiple times.
Yeah. Oh, well. I tell it. I'm a storyteller. What do you want to tell you? But this is the way. I think in golf and in life, this is a great metaphor. I know a lot of people have first tee jitters, right?
Yeah.
And just so you know, folks, everybody does. Public speaking, golf. When you're up on the first tee, you're going to be jittery. So, my dad had 39 first cousins. Big Italian family. So we went to a lot of functions throughout the years. My dad, a very sociable guy. He was always the first guy on the dance floor, and the interesting part about that was he couldn't dance. He was like Elaine from Seinfeld. It was a train wreck. Yeah, but he didn't care, man. He didn't care. So I probably was maybe 15 years old or so, and my dad got off the dance floor, and I did what a lot of teenagers will do. I said, "Hey, Dad, can you kind of tone it down? It's a little embarrassing." And he looked right at me and he said, "Son, the key to life is to dance like there's nobody watching. And I kind of just shut up at that point. But now sitting here after doing this for so many years, oh my God, right? I mean, it's a great way to be.
Yeah.
Like, look, you can only do your best in that moment. If your best isn't good enough, well, so what? You're going to fail your way to the top. So, my dad, cheers to my dad. He's probably one of the biggest reasons why I do what I do. And personally, I'm going personal in the first episode. I mean, I grew up, I was born a while ago, but it was what I call a surgery fest. If you ever go to a doctor's office and they hand you the new form saying list all the surgeries that you've had, I can't even tell you. I can't remember. I mean, I've had so many from age less than 1 to, I'm not even going to go into my 30s and 40s, but so I know I'm watching a lot of this generation with parents and kids, and I respect all of it, trust me. There's, but like they're allergic to this, or they have to have bottled water, like they can't drink out of a hose and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, when I look at this, I had all this stuff. I have a couple fused ribs, I got fused vertebrae, I got shoulder issues, I a heart issue, and I played 7 years of football. I wrestled for 3.5 years, and like my dad just threw me into it and said, you know what, son, do the best you can do. And so when I hear of other people saying, I can't do this or I can't do that, you know what, for the most part, and there are exceptions to it, I believe that you can do whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that's conversations we have.
Yeah.
I know, Richie, you recently ordered a bunch of posters, right?
A bunch of posters.
They just came in?
Yeah, they just came in.
How many were there?
In total, there was about 5 of them that were pictures. Mm-hmm. And then there's just a couple quotes, just a couple words with some definitions on it, motivational words. Yeah. I didn't get all those. I didn't get them all hung up yet. They're taking a little bit of time. I got most of them hung up, most of them on the wall. Every time I wake up, you look right at those posters and you see them. It gets you going right away.
I did this morning. My alarm clock went off. As you know, I work out almost every day of the year. And I woke up this morning at I think I set my alarm for 5:45. And some days, the snooze button is friendly, although I've used less and less snooze over the years. I took my phone and I put on motivational, I think Les Brown. I love Les Brown. I put on Les Brown and I put him under my pillow for 10 minutes. And then I got up, which, it's a lot better than snooze. But so today's episode is called No Great Comeback Ever Started When You Were Ahead. And that's in the theme with the breakfast ball. Like this morning, for example.
We were not ahead.
I mean, we watch all these 8-minute videos. Hey, podcast 101, easy. Oh, my flipping word. Even these microphones, I went out and I bought the best microphones I could, a couple hundred, $240 or whatever, and the one out of the box doesn't work. How could that be? So anyway, we're going to fail our way to success. So today's theme, no great comeback ever started when you were ahead. Here's a question for you. As a player, does golf build character or does golf reveal character?
So, I think it does a little bit of both. I think it does build a little bit of character, but more so reveals it. And you can see it, different players we teach, different players we've had on the team. You take Zach, for example. Mm-hmm. Zach's a really, really, really good player. He played in USAM, right?
Yeah, he made the finals
of the USAM. Yeah. He's a really good player.
Yeah. We'll have him on the show at some point.
We will have him at some point, yes. Yeah. But, when he's out on the golf course, you see his character out there. He never quits.
Oh.
Fire. He's always, if he's down, he's not out.
Yeah, I call it Tom Brady syndrome. The more things go bad, the more he just focuses this way.
Yeah. I mean, you see it within players. You know who you're going to beat out there on the golf course, just by their attitude, just by how they carry themselves. Yeah. It really, the second you step out there, their character get revealed.
Yeah. You're great. I mean, it's amazing because feeding into the next question I was going to ask you. You know, what's the greatest life lesson golf has taught you? But I'm gonna hop into that real quick. When I first started coaching at Rutgers, it was a part-time gig, and I spent a lot of time coaching because the players weren't as good.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we got more into it, I spent more time recruiting, and you get a better caliber of player. But what separates good from great, you know, is this.
Yeah.
I like it was I think it was Fuzzy Zeller or no, it was Ray Floyd. Like is golf, you know, would you consider golf to be at least 70% mental? And he's like, yes, it's 100% mental. So I found with guys like you and Zach and Q, they all separate themselves as just being mentally tougher, better prepared, mentally and physically going into something. You know, talent just isn't enough. So
Yeah.
What's the greatest lesson golf has taught you?
So, when I played my first ever club championship, there's a kid named Connor. Connor was a very good player back when we were younger. When I got to play him in the semifinals of the club championship, I was excited more than ever because, you know, it was finally, I get a chance to beat this kid that I could never beat back in the day. And we went out there, and throughout the 18-hole match, I was never leading. I actually had Ryan on the bag that day, too.
Oh, no.
Ryan was caddying for me. We never led at any point in the match. I remember on the 17th hole, I put the ball in the water to go back to one down, and I'm sitting there going, oh, my God. You know, I was supposed to be the one that wins this thing, and I might not even get to the finals. I'm like, this is... Whew. So I step up on the 18th hole, and I look at Ryan, and I go, hey, Ryan, watch this. And guess what I do?
Birdie?
I put it right in the trees.
Oh, okay. Well,
So I look at Ryan on the
kids at
next
home
shot.
don't do this.
I look at Ryan on the next shot, and I go, Ryan, watch this. And I bend it around the trees, and I put it on the green to like 25 feet. And we step up on that putt. Connor made par already, had a tap in par. I had to make birdie to get it to the playoff hole. So I looked at Ryan. I said, watch this. And I made the putt.
that's nice.
We went to the playoff hole. And by the way, it was not an easy putt. It was a 25-footer bending about 10
I
feet.
had no doubt.
You know, right in the center of the cup. I was really excited. We went to the playoff hole, and I won the first hole of the playoff. And I looked at Ryan, and I was like, man, we were down that. That was the only time I was up in that match.
Yeah.
You know, that whole time I was down, but I was never out. You know, so that right there, that was one of my first, you know, really like, wow, you know, even when I'm not ahead,
Yeah.
I always have a chance to get ahead.
Yeah, and
You know,
your belief system was that even though you were trailing the whole day, you still had a chance.
Yeah, I still had a chance that entire day.
Yep.
You know, even though I was down. Same thing happened the one tournament we played in over for Rutgers. It was at Scotland Run.
Yeah,
I was
remember that.
down 5 with 4 to go.
Yep.
And ended up winning.
Yep.
You know, it's just those are some of the lessons that, you know, never quit.
That's
You
it.
know, no matter how bad you're down.
Because no great comeback ever started when you were ahead.
Exactly.
And those are the stories you remember, the ones you
Yep.
like came back. Like, you know, it's great. I mean, there's plenty of tournaments where we blew other teams out. I mean,
Yeah.
at one point, I think we had a record of 123-4 at some point. We were
Yep.
killing teams. But the stories we remember the most are the ones where you come back from.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
again,
for sure.
metaphor for life. This is it's a golf backbone show, but like, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff at the Breakfast Bowl. I want, if we can implant some golf strategy and life lessons in what we do, that's I think that's what we both
Yeah.
agree we're all about.
Yeah.
As opposed to like our other programs that we've done. But okay, what would you say the greatest limitation of a competitive golfer is? Would you say it's this is a competitive golfer, not the
Yeah.
average Joe?
Yeah, competitive golfer.
Mechanics or self-imposed limitations?
I think that one's simple.
Yeah.
Watch tour pros on the range. They all look the same.
Mhm.
You know, they might have different swings, but they all hit the ball the same. You know, they all hit long drives.
Yep.
They all hit good iron shots. They all put wedges close.
Mhm.
They all know how to putt.
Yep.
But someone comes out on top for a different reason. You know, it's because of their mental.
I've been blessed in that aspect because I've played with one guy several times. It had a top 10 finish on the PGA Tour, and I finished a couple of guys that played tour events. One guy made the U.S. Open. Yeah, you know what? One of the big things I know is self-deprecation. The good player that and again, we're all guilty of it. Like, I stink. I can't do this. And the guy who never gets to the next level is usually the self-deprecator. The guy who, like, you know, I knew that was going to go wrong today.
Yeah.
Um,
See it in the lessons.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do, right? You, Q,
Zach.
Zach, yeah. You guys have all at one point said to me, like, during the course of a round, I remember the national championship round with Zach, for example. The 3 or 4 of you guys were playing well, and Zach was our number one player at that point, and he was like 3 over through 4 holes. And I'm like, what's up? He's, how the other guys doing? I said, they're doing really well. And he just got this steely look in his eye, and next thing you know, he plays the next, 14 holes at like 1 under. Like, he took adversity and steered it towards the greater good. And that's not easy, brother, trust me.
It's not easy at all.
Yeah, if thinking well was easy, everybody would do it. But anyway, but let's circle back a little bit. I don't know how long we've been into this podcast yet. Who knows? Yeah, but let's just say because the comeback is always stronger than a setback. I saw that online, and it's true. The comeback is always stronger than a setback. I don't ever want to put myself in a position where it's woe is me. And not that we haven't been there, but we've always been there, or not always been there. Everybody has been there at some time in their life.
Yeah.
I guess I'll tell, I don't know how long we're going today, but there was a player that I used to teach years ago, and his team had, I think, won like 3 straight state titles. They actually are arch rival, I think they were.
Who?
Haddonfield. Yeah, sorry.
Don't talk about
that. I know, right. So he was like the 6th man on that team. He played sometimes, he didn't play other times. He had the talent, but he was very, very hard on himself. And his family asked me to come down and watch him at one of the junior PJ events. And as fate would have it, they paired him with the number 1 player in South Jersey.
Yeah.
And after 9 holes, he was winning by 1 or 2. And man, he was strutting around proud as a peacock. And then on the 10th hole, he had a wedge into the green, and he chunked that bad boy. I mean, it was 2-3 inches behind the ball, went about 30 yards. From that point forward, man, I've never seen. I don't think the Titanic went down fast. It was crazy. And he ended up shooting, I guess, a little under 90. And he wouldn't talk to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't talk to a soul. And so his parents were like, hey, can you go talk to him? So yeah, babe, okay. So I sat down to him. His name was David. Oh, hey, Dave, what's up? And we're talking. And finally the conversation turned to my kid. How did you think today? And he belts out in angry, thinking well is hard. And I looked at him, I said, yeah, it is. It's an acquired skill. Mm-hmm. It's something that you need to work on. Because if everybody could think well, everybody would be great. So, and I find it in my own life. There's been plenty of things that, they're going on in my life. And I want to keep my thought process clean, pure, and forward. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to add on this? Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, we'll get more into details as we go. I know we're doing a winter training program right now. Richie's going to be heading most of it up, but a lot of the little leagues and basketball leagues, they have winter training for aspiring players. So we're rolling that out now. So why don't you tell the people what we're covering in there?
Yeah, I mean we're covering swing, every part of the game, so driver, putting, short game, some chipping, maybe some pitch shots. We're going over rules of golf, we're going over strategies, we're going over fitness, stretching, warm-ups, mental game. Pretty much everything you can think of related to golf is kind of what we're going over.
Yeah. Because I tell you, because we do a lot of special events. We just did Ladies' Night at Valori's a couple weeks back, and as I told the ladies, because they're underrepresented part of golf, typically speaking, you go to a golf lesson and it's grip, stance, posture, and yada yada yada. Any golf school can do that. We want to be, the rules. We're gonna do an applicable rule a week. We'll discuss how rules are there to protect you, not to hurt you. We've had a couple instances. Richie had one where the rules actually, if you know the rules, you can insulate yourself. So that's stuff, we'll talk about.
Rules are good to know.
Rules are good to know. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know those rules.
Golf rules. They try to make them simpler, but
it's not simple.
Yeah.
I used to study the rule book before every season. I would
as a golf teacher
over.
professional. I've passed my rules test, and I've been a rules official at multiple events. So, and when I coach with you guys, like the college guys, you'd be surprised. Guys get to a college golf team and they don't know the rules. I mean. Andrew, oh man, I busted his stones for years on the lateral hazard rule because he cost himself like 8 strokes just by trying to hit out of things that were way steep. But anyway, so back to I as a hobby, I do singer-songwriter. So the song that we're going to put into our intro each week is a Bob Cartier original actually, but it's I say it in the song, I believe that great is yet to come, and I won't stop fighting until it's done. And I want you guys to do the same. Okay. First episode of The Breakfast Ball. I'm Bob Cartier. This is Rich Stoltz. We are looking forward to doing this for a long time. See you next time.
Glass of bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. My bourbon, ha. Alcohol. Because no great story ever started with, I'll have a salad.